Alright guys, as always, apparently this is where I'm going to start my video. So, what's up? Bear with the intro, I'm just going to get into the intro right now and then cover everything else. First and foremost, obviously, I'm still alive. Saturday night, Hurricane Nate rolled through, and it definitely came through as a hurricane. We were on the east side of the storm, so it was actually pretty beasty. If we had been on the west side, we'd have been just fine, I'm sure, but either way, I lived. The shed didn't crumple, didn't fall apart. Serenity's fine, I'm fine, the wife's fine, dog's fine, cats are fine. House is mostly fine. I had a couple minor little things, but nothing major. So I was sitting at the gas station where I normally hang out, and I go there, get a drink, relax for a minute, when I'm riding. And two guys walked up, and it still amazes me how many people I can tell that this bike is a 250. And the only thing they said is, oh, I thought it would have been more like a 600. People still buy into the fact that this is a 250. People still, I mean, just flat out, people believe me when I tell them it's a 250. And I guess, you don't really have a reason to doubt somebody. But if I get anything, it's usually a comment on, oh, it looks kind of big for a 250. That's because it's a little big for a 250. That did get me kind of thinking, though. I remember back to the days when I had my 600. And it's like 2008, 2009, so this was a little while ago. We had a place that did an awesome bike night once a month. I'd go there and I'd get a little bike envy. And it just got me realizing, how far have I come in biking to go for my 600. To go for my 600, that was more or less bone stock, a few minor alterations, nothing major. And the one what I ride now, the more I thought about it, the more I realized, there's somebody out there, there's people out there that will see my bike and just think it's, coolest thing on two wheels. Again, it got me thinking back to my 600 days of going to these shows, and you see people that had an aftermarket pipe, and just kind of customize their bike to their liking. I was new to sport bikes at the time, just seeing all these people that had, like aftermarket levers and all these little minor changes to their bike that made it fit what they wanted it to be. I don't want to say necessarily makes you jealous, but it kind of makes you wish, I wish my bike was closer to my personality style, closer to how I want it to be, which is, obviously with my 954, that is what I've been able to do just over a matter of years. In the 4 years that I've owned this bike, I've done a lot to it. I've kind of screwed some stuff up, fixed other stuff, altered a lot of stuff. I think it's interesting that the shoe's on the other foot, I guess. I went from being the one that was always checking out other people's bikes to having one that was worthy of being checked out. And even now, I got so much stuff I could do to my bike to make it a lot faster, a lot cooler, a lot more my style, but money is always an object for me. Yes, I've dumped thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars into this bike, but I've always done it only when I've had the money to do it. And I think that something we can all relate to is kind of having that bike envy, that starting point. Unless, you're just rich and you have the money, we all have that awesome bike that we want, or we all have that modification that we want next. And to find somebody else that has it, and I guess it always almost always seems to start with an exhaust. Oh, I got a stock bike, I want my exhaust louder, I want to be able to be heard. It starts minor, but it works its way up slowly into the more you do, the more you have to do, I guess. And I will do a better walk around video. I realized going in the very early, I think it was the second new video that I did was my walk around of this bike, and I realized doing it with the GoPro on wide angle was not the best of ideas. It didn't really allow me to capture any kind of detail on the bike. So I am going to reshoot that video either in a narrow angle or with a different camera. So yeah, it just made me realize, when you first start out in bikes, even cars, I guess, you gain more and more knowledge, maybe money, financial stability, and your bike improves, your car, whatever it is, improves, but I don't know how many people really look back to say, oh, God, I remember when I started out being kind of the scrub that just had the bone stock bike, or, had this piece of crap, or, even if it's not a piece of crap, but just had this pretty basic or pretty plain bike, to where you eventually do start getting it how you want it to be. I'm fairly dismissive of mine, but absolutely love this thing, you know. I tell people it's a 250, I tell them it's a freaking 300. I screw with people all the time about it. Yeah, I mean, I love the fact that I ride a probably overpowered bike, you know, even if it's not as powerful as the new ones. It's just awesome to have that bike that's got, you know, ASV levers on it and rear sets and a full exhaust, power commander. I'd say custom paint, but it is custom. I did it, at least for what I've done. I still need to do my gas tank. I'm not going there. I've been slacking so hard to do my gas tank. I mean, there's a lot of things I want to do and I still have not got around to. Aftermarket stuff, I'm almost to the point where I'm completely happy with this bike. There's not a whole lot more I want to do. Most of what I want to still finish up on it is replacing worn out or rusted parts, you know, cleaning up different parts that have, you know, show wear. Of course, painting the gas tank would be a huge step if I ever get off my butt and do that. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely still stuff that I will do to this bike. Most of it, like I said, being aesthetic, not actually functional. I don't know, guys. I guess kind of all I wanted to cover. I mean, it's cool to go full circle, come back to, like I said, being the guy that's checking out everybody else's bike, wishing and praying he had, you know, different stuff done to his, to actually having a, I'd say heavily, decently, mildly, whatever, modified 954, you know, that people love to check out. When you first started out on bikes or sport bikes or whatever you ride, did you have that same feeling of almost being awestruck every time you saw a bike with mods that had a decent amount of modifications to it? I know I did. I still get that. I still find stupid crap on a bike that I'm like, that's so awesome, I want that. There's always something that I want to do. I'm going to end it there. Comment down in the comments. Go to the Facebook page, whatever. What were some of the first things you noticed? Did you get the bike envy? Thank you to the few new subscribers this week. So, y'all be safe. See you in the next video.